In the headlines, a CAPA poll of 12 constituencies shows the Prime Minister as the only Labour Party candidate keeping his seat in the December elections. An invitation by Bishop Malzer to political parties to join the celebration of Christ the King this weekend. And an official funeral for the late Honourable Minister Gertrude Roberts. I am Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting. For people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, an opinion poll conducted by the Caribbean Agency for Political Advancement, CAPA, shows the Dominica Labour Party losing the 6th December general elections. That's the complete opposition of the CADRES poll released on Thursday, which generally favored the DLP.
Respondents generally believe that elections results, in their opinion, might most likely favor the incumbent Dominica Labour Party, with 34% of those who were questioned say that they think Labour might win. 46% of respondents, however, declared that they will indeed vote for the opposition United Workers' Party in that same poll. So in the view of the people who we spoke to in those 12 areas, they said it is likely that Labour can win. But more people, 46%, actually declared that they will indeed vote for the candidates in their respective constituencies. 47% of respondents believe that Linton and the United Workers' Party present the better plan for the people and the future development of Dominica, while 40% of the respondents favored Roosevelt Skerrit and the Dominican Labour Party. 9% and 4% of respondents disclosed that none of the party's plans interest them in any significant way. More people, 49% believe that the DLP should not continue to serve as the majority party in the government of Dominica, while 46% believe that they should. 5% of respondents were either unsure or they chose to remain neutral. UWP and the DLP both enjoyed similar ratings on the question of for which political party candidate did you vote for in 2014? 37% said it was the United Workers' Party, and 35% of respondents declared that it was the DLP, and 28% of the respondents offered no responses. When asked which political party leader is more believable when they message, 40% of the respondents said Lennox Linton, and 37% said Roosevelt Skerritt, with 28% saying that neither of the leaders were believable. On the matter of the voting, 71% of respondents declared that they will be voting on December 6. 12% said that they will not vote, and 17% were not sure whether they will actually be casting a ballot.
Bruno says the most resounding response came when respondents were asked about electoral reform.
The question was asked, do you believe there needs to be electoral reform? And 72% of the respondents said yes, 4% said no, 14% were uncertain. Youth unemployment we found to be at 63%. And unemployment overall, in terms of the adult demographic, 38%, and that's in the areas which we polled. The National Employment Agency or program, NEP, was measured as being a significant employment source, especially for young people. That's in terms of the overall figures.
In related news, the Dominica Labour Party is trailing the UWP in 11 of the 12 constituencies polled by CAPA. The only constituency among the 12 where DLP is ahead is in Vieques, where the Prime Minister would retain his seat. The poll shows the UWP with a substantial lead in the Salibre constituency. According to this poll, the Labour Party would lose seats in Castle Bruce, La Plaine, Maho, Montjean, Petite Savanne, Roseau Central, the Roseau Valley, and St. Joseph. The UWP, however, would retain seats in Wesley and Marigot. Bruno says 72% of the respondents favor electoral reform. Alex Bruno says CAPA could not poll all 21 constituencies due to lack of funding. In more top stories, a grand celebration for the Feast of Christ the King on Sunday. Julian Morris tells us more.
The event, which last took place on a diocesan level 6 years ago, will be held at the Windsor Park Stadium. Bishop of Roseau, His Lordship Gabriel Malze, says all is in place for the hosting of Christ the King.
I am very pleased to say to you that the stage is set for a tremendous celebration of the solemnity of Christ the King, which takes place this coming Sunday at the Windsor Park Stadium. A lot of advertisement has gone, and I'm sure by now many of you will be aware, but it is always good to remind you that it is something we cannot underestimate, because Christ the King brings us to the climax of our liturgical year, and so we want to celebrate it this year in a very big way.
Monsignor William John Lewis, who is director of the Diocesan Pastoral Center, says Sunday's activity will be a whole-day affair.
This Sunday coming, all the Catholics will be coming in procession. Well, we call it a praisecade, a motorcade from the different parts of the diocese, from the west, from the east, from the north, and from the south, converging on Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard about 8:30. At 9 o'clock, we shall begin the procession. From there, to the sound of drums, up to the stadium, where we shall have the entire function for the entire day. And the very first event will be the celebration of the Eucharist, which is the most important event for the day, because that's where we come together to celebrate the Mass and to celebrate Christ our King.
Bishop Malze also extended an invitation to the political parties to join in the celebration of the Feast of Christ the King.
In preparation for this celebration, we recognize that we are in the season of elections. And 4 weeks ago, I wrote to the leaders of each political party, or the two political parties, to ask them to suspend all political rallies for the 24th, so that it would facilitate the celebration of Christ the King. So both the leaders of both parties have agreed to suspend their political campaigns. And so we also invite that the members of the leadership and the members of the parties to celebrate with us, because it is a grand celebration for the Catholic Church.
The Eucharistic celebration of the Feast of Christ the King will take place at 10 in the morning on Sunday. Other activities for that day include the launching of the Antilles Episcopal Conference Youth Assembly and an extravaganza of praise.
In more developments, very positive is how President of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce is describing a recent meeting with the President of Dominica. Earlier this week, private sector representatives met with President of the country, His Excellency Charles Savre, to discuss the current political climate in Dominica. President of the DAIC, Kenny Green, says the meeting with private sector representatives and the President Savre was encouraging.
The DAIC and the DHTA, representing the private sector, met with the President of Dominica on Wednesday. The meeting was very positive. It also reflected the seriousness of the situation that is ongoing with regards to the prospect of violence surrounding the elections. And as part of that discussion, we also discussed the possibility of reaching out to a number of different parties to be able to include them in a discussion with the President.
Mr. Green says the President was receptive towards meeting with the relevant parties on their different concerns ahead of the 6th December general elections.
The President did mention that protocol that is established means that he's available to meet any Dominican given a reason for meeting and also a scheduled appointment. And so that was heartening, and we've also asked for him to reach out to those people who have shown concern about the electoral reform process. And so those were the highlights of the discussion with the President.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Welcome back. The government of Dominica has accorded the late Gertrude Roberts an official funeral. Mrs. Roberts, a former government minister, passed away on 6 November at the age of 92 and will be laid to rest at the Rosalie Roman Catholic Cemetery on Saturday, 23 November. That day has been declared an official day of mourning, and as a mark of respect, all flags on public buildings will be flown at half-staff. The late Gertrude Roberts was first elected as Member of Parliament for the Montjean-Rivière-Syriac constituency in 1990 and served in that post for 3 consecutive terms. Mrs. Roberts, who was Minister for Community Development and Women's Affairs from 1995 to 2000, retired from active politics in 2005. Before entering the political arena, Mrs. Roberts held a distinguished teaching career. She was also very involved in church and community work. She is survived by 6 children, namely Greta Roberts, who is contesting the Montjean-Rivière-Syriac seat on a DLP ticket, also Gwyneth, Brendalyn, Brenda, Bertilia, and Brian. The official funeral for the late Gertrude Roberts, which will be attended by the President of Dominica, Speaker of the House of Assembly, government ministers, and members of the Diplomatic Corps, will take place at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, 23 November at the Grand Fort Roman Catholic Church. Children at Chances in Jimmet were treated to an afternoon of fun learning and interaction with staff of Dominica's superior telecommunications service provider, Flow. Julian Morris tells us more.
The activity formed part of the company's Mission Day, which is observed every year in November. Corporate Communications Manager with Flow Dominica, Fudina Frampton, explains that 2 years ago, the company visited Chances for Mission Day to help with the cleanup effort there, and this time around decided to help in another way.
Jeffrey actually thought, why don't we come back to Chances? But this time, let us go and engage with the children. Let us go and be more intimate with them in terms of assisting with homework, playing dominoes with them, coloring with them. As you would have noticed today, we played musical chairs. So it is really our pleasure to be here today at Chances and to engage them as part of our Mission Week activities. I'm sure that this is something that we can certainly make, even if it's once a quarter, half a year or something, we can come back and spend some time with the children here at Chances. You can see that they appreciate our presence, and we are very happy to be here as well.
During Flo's visit to the compound, the children received a donation of books, clothing, and other items. Director of Chances, Jenny Honoré St-Val, says this donation is extremely useful.
Well, I was elated that Fudina selected us this year for Mission Day 2019. I remember 2 years ago you all came and helped with the cleanup, which was excellent. This year it is a more kindred spirit where the children are having fun, and the books will go a long way in helping them with their reading and their literacy. We are always grateful when the private sector comes on board to assist and to help and to make the children feel more special than they are.
Manager of Flow Dominica, Jeffrey Baptiste, hopes to have made a lasting impact on the youth at Chances.
My personal view is you can transform lives by one simple step at a time. And so we're not going to give a gift per se today, but we were going to spend our time and we were going to interact with the kids and pretty much bring some happiness and bring some difference to them. They get to see and they get to interact every day with the staff of Chances, and we felt we coming in as an organization with our staff that they would get to experience a different set of love, a lot of interactions, if you will, from a different group of people, and this is what we did today. From all observations and the feedback that I have and the images that I've seen, that I think it went far. I think it was impactful. We interacted with the young children. We spent time, I personally spent some time, speaking to a few of them. We assisted them in reading. We played games. We just made them feel, loved and appreciated.
This year, Mission Day was observed as part of a week of events dubbed Mission Week. Staff of Flow Dominica also collected funds during the week as part of relief efforts for the Bahamas.
And Dominica's TVET Council will be gathering information to help shape training sessions to create the ideal employee for Dominican businesses. Here again is Julian Morris with the details.
This is the aim of the first ever national symposium by the country's TVET Council to be held on Monday. Executive Director of Dominica's TVET Council, Paula Serafin, explains that Monday's symposium will bring several stakeholders together as a means of obtaining data to help the young people of the country.
The Dominica TVET Council is holding this national symposium for enhancing skills development and economic competitiveness in Dominica. And yes, it is scheduled for Monday, the 25th of November. Yes, it is the first of its kind for the Dominica TVET Council in a very long time. And so this event is taking place within the context of a strategic partnership. So we have partnered with the Skills for Youth Employment project, which is the acronym is SKY, and also the Youth Development Division and the Skills Training Program. And so the International Organization for Migration, IOM, is also on board with us.
Mrs. Serafin says creating these linkages with the stakeholders is critical for TVET creating programs specific to youth development for the workforce.
The National Symposium represents a significant breakthrough for the Council, and so we are hoping to engage stakeholders who are critical to the symposium, employers in particular, civil society, government agencies. We have invited Corporate Dominica to be part of this conversation. We're very interested in our youth and women attending the symposium as well. We want to hear from our stakeholders what is required to produce, if you will, the ideal employee. We are focused on developing a workforce by leveraging quality technical vocational education and training and various skills training program.
TVET's executive director points out that with this training, Dominican youth will also be able to take advantage of job opportunities across the region.
We want to specifically add value to the Caribbean vocational qualifications. Most persons perhaps may have heard about the CVQ, but there's so many opportunities presented through CSME and on the region for the Caribbean vocational qualifications. And so we are encouraging persons who are developing skills training program to, one, have their training program assessed, and also that we as the Council will assert our role ourselves in preparing to deliver or to award the CVQ and NVQs in Dominica to ensure that our workforce is not only are they skilled and certified, but that they are also CVQ certified.
TVET's National Symposium is scheduled to get underway at 8:30 Monday morning at the Goodwill Parish Hall.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. A CAPA poll of 12 constituencies shows the Prime Minister as the only Labour Party candidate keeping his seat in the December elections. An invitation by Bishop Malzer to political parties to join the celebration of Christ the King this weekend. And an official funeral for the late Honourable Minister Gertrude Roberts. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.